Hello everyone, welcome back to Trader in the Making, where if you fail, you only die, nothing happens. We're beginning this video with a trade review for Monday, and we're going to do a couple of things. We'll look at the execution that we made, the logic behind it, and also we'll do a trade review for how the Monday traded and what we expect based on that. All right, so stay tuned. A couple of good information is coming, and stay tuned for that. All right, so let's get into it. We're in trading view. This is the Monday candle. Okay, so keeping in line with power of three, Monday candle closed bearish, it opened, manipulated higher, took this high. So this is the Friday's high, previous day high, and closed like this. Okay. And if we drop down to the 4-hour, I want to show you something. Okay. And this is something that we taught multiple times in this channel. You can go back and check it in the teachings. I said we're always watching for pools of liquidity. When they're taken, how are we going to behave around them? Usually, when we take a pool of liquidity and we want to move higher from there, we close that with a we close with a candle on the higher time frame. That means the 4-hour, the 1-hour, the 3-hour, the 6-hour, 12-hour. Okay, we close above that liquidity pool. This shows me that we're accepting higher prices, right? But on the 4-hour, look at how the 4-hour candle that started at 2 and finished at 6. Look at how it closed. So that's the first thing. The second thing, look at the next 4-hour candle that starts at 6 and finishes at 10, how it closed, right? So we go all the way back, we sweep the low, and again, we closed lower. So this is good for bullishness. This is very good for bullishness, right? And when you see this, you should be trading short. So even on the very high time frames, the daily and the weekly and the monthly, we are bullish. We are expecting higher prices. That doesn't mean that every day, every daily candle is going to trade bullish. No. If like you will see that throughout the week, all right, price would retrace to certain levels, okay, and but the narrative is that we're going to go higher, right, on the higher time frames. That's what we're expecting to unfold throughout the week. All right, we're expecting initially this high to be taken, then this, then to essentially make all-time highs. All right, we'll see if we have the strength to do that this week, right, or next week, but we're initially watching if we get to this high right here. Right, so we're still preferring higher prices. The narrative is still intact, all right, but for Monday particularly, we traded short based on what we see in price. So we have expectations from the broader context of higher prices, and this comes from all the way back to the monthly chart. If we go down to the monthly, you can see that this move that started in June and July was a retracement to this inefficiency. After we traded to it, all right, we're moving higher. The expectation on the monthly that we're going to make all-time highs one more time after retracing to this inefficiency. So that's the context that we're trading with on the higher time frame. But on the lower time frames, based on what we see, for that particular day, which is Monday, we see bearishness and we're going to trade short based on that. All right. Okay. So what was the logic for the bearish setup? So initially the formation of the daily candle, the Monday candle, right? Open, trade high, manipulate, and close lower. So that's power of three. That's how the bearish candle is formed on the daily chart. So if it is bullish, then we see open, trade lower, and close higher, and vice versa when we are bearish. Let me show you maybe an example for this. Okay, so this is a day where we have very little retracements, okay? But let's go, for example, to this candle right here, okay? Open, trade higher, close lower, open, trade lower, close higher, right? So same thing we're seeing unfold here. We open, trade higher to the previous day high, Friday's high, and it's also a previous week high, and then we close lower. Now, keeping that in mind, if we go to the 4-hour, we see once we reach this pool of liquidity, do we have the strength to move higher from there? All right, well, based on the close of the 4-hour, obviously we're rejecting that level after taking the liquidity that was resting in there. So that is seen from the close of this candle and this candle right here. All right, and if I drop down, as I keep drawing down to the lower time frames, it's going to seem more visible to you. So on the 1-hour, on the way to take this pool of liquidity, we made this inefficiency right here in the form of a 1-hour BC, right? Okay, we retraced to it the first time, we respected. Then we retraced to it again, we respected. Then with this candle, it opened and swept the liquidity that is resting here. And then we broke lower from there. And if I drop down in the 1 minute, you can see that what was an indication of a sweep, that look at the speed with which, right, with that 1 minute candle, we open, right, like just before, like at 6:29, we sweep that high. This is the high of that 4-hour candle that I talked to you about, okay? And then we broke lower from there. So most people would see this candle and think we're going to move higher from there. But for me, what I'm looking at, that's just a liquidity sweep, right? That will take us lower. And you can see that on the 4-hour, where we expect the same thing to happen on the daily, we expect it to happen on the 4-hour. If we're going to go lower, we would expect that that 4-hour candle would trade higher first, sweep the liquidity resting above the previous 4-hour candle and break lower from there. And that's exactly what happened, right? But do we still, well, you could go short from here, right? That's not what I did. I had to wait for New York to see what it does, and we traded based on that. I'll show you the execution for that later, right after the explanation, all right? So now we're building context, all right? We're building confirmation for our bearish setup based on the 4-hour, the 1-hour. So that's the inefficiency that we made at 1 o'clock overnight. Look at how we break through it with this candle at 8 o'clock, all right? And we inverted right here, okay? So that's good for bearishness, all right? We take these lows, we break through it, and we close below it after respecting it here at 3 and here at 5, all right? So when we swept the liquidity, now we are ready to go down, right? At 6:29, that 1 minute candle opened very fast, took the liquidity in there and closed lower. And you could see that after this, this is the 30-minute candle when it closes 6:30. You can see how I'm talking about this one. Yeah, this is the formation of that candle, and then we open, we straight went lower from there. We have been closing lower. This candle right here is a candle to go short at. Look what we closed with no wicks at all. And so when we see that, it shows me that price, there's no resistance here, right? And price wants to get lower from there. And that's exactly what we did in the next 30-minute candle, right? So we're watching and building context based on various time frames, right? Okay, so then what I want you to look at on the 1 hour, this candle right here. So like we said, at 8:30, we inverted this, then we retraced to that level initially at 9. Then this candle opened, swept these lows, and then came all the way here. The next candle at 11, look at what it did. It traded higher to this breaker block right here. To this breaker block, right? High, low, higher high, right? That's a breaker block. So with this candle at 11 to 12, we went all the way back. We reacted very strongly from that breaker block that we formed before. We traded to this, let me remove these lines because we don't need them anymore. We traded to this CB right here. About a CB right here. And then we closed outside that inverted fair value gap and that CB, right? Like this. Okay, this is a good signal for shorting, right? Because what this tells me that price is enabled to break higher, right? This closed like this. It tells me that price is rejecting higher prices and wants to move lower. Move lower where? Well, to the lows that we formed right here, to this new week opening gap. Okay. Notice that we respected them initially, new week opening gap, respected that level initially, and New York opened, and then after the retracement back into this breaker block, this inverted 1 hour VC, and then this CB right here, okay, we went all the way back and we broke lower from there, right? So that close right there is something that you can go short at, and let me show you the execution. The entry was exactly at that level. So the entry was here. So that's the entry that happened on the next 4-hour candle at 12 after that close. Let's go back to it. And by the way, this is done on capital.com, real money, real capital, no demo. So you can see that after that close, the next 4-hour candle just went lower. We took these lows and we broke through that new week opening gap, which is exactly what I wanted to see. So the entry was here and the exit was here. That's about like 110 points. And on the 1 minute, entry was here. Our expectation was that these lows, swing lows, are going to hold price lower. Okay, and notice that we tried to get back. We kept below the swing low. We went all and took these lows right here. we break through that new week opening gap, and our target was that Friday low, but we didn't manage to get to it. So I end up closing the trade right here because price was not doing anything. But that was my target, that Friday low, but I don't require it. We already made like 110 points. It's more than enough, right? And the to close, the thing that I want to talk to you about, this may seem easy in practice, but look at how much consolidation we had to sit through to enter here. So we had to sit through this consolidation that started at 9, 10, 11, and the execution was at 12, right? So we have to sit through 4 hours of consolidation, and then we have to allow for that some form of manipulation leg higher to take us lower, right? And to have the patience to wait for the market to do those things, that is the hardest part because most traders want to get in there and do something after just a couple of minutes instead of sitting in front of price action. They see any movement as they see this move right here, think the market is going to go up, so they go bullish, then they get stopped out. Then they see this move right here, they think the market is going down now, then they go short, then it retraces, stops them out, right? To have the patience to allow for your setup to manifest, right, is one of the hardest thing that you can master in trading, and that's what will make you profitable, right? And that what will make you suffer the most. Imagine with me entering in this consolidation. Price is not doing anything. Now you're in a trade where you have to hold it for 4 hours, 4 hours of stress and struggle and anxiety and all of that. Whereas you wait for your setup to appear. Here, there's zero, like very, very minimum drawdown, almost no drawdown at all. The entry was here, very, very little drawdown, right? And we broke lower from here. The stop loss, just to be safe, was in these highs right here, right? Because if we can't go all the way back here and take this high, well, I don't want to be in the trade anymore, right? So very, very little drawdown, 110 points in the Nasdaq. Very good execution, very clean setup, and that's the power of patience. That if you execute, if you manage to exert when you are in the market, that's in and out of itself is going to allow you to enter in very good setups where you have very minimal drawdown aside from your price reading ability. So I will close with this. Hope this has been helpful. I'll see you next time.